what will happen to that one recruit? If I give $1 million earner a recruit, what's going to happen? And it just really hit me because there's so many people, and I said this to my base shop a while back, you've all, for the most part on this call, recruited enough people to be $1 million earners if you did the right things with those people. And I get this from page 7 of the locker room notes, Dan. It's right there. That's the formula. And most people, what they do is, when they get a recruit, it's like a farmer taking a seed, putting it on top of the ground and saying, if that seed wants it bad enough and good enough, it will create roots and blossom. And they leave it there saying, well, I didn't want it bad enough, so I'm going to go get another one. And if you give $1 million earner one recruit, they'll become $1 million earner off that one recruit. I'm not saying you shouldn't go wide. You might have to find 4 or 5 or 6 to find that one recruit you can build with credibility. But some of you have been doing this long enough where, so what I'm showing is the contrast. I'm going to be doing the Primerica way. What do you do with the new recruit? Then Austin's going to do the A.O. Williams way, Art Williams way, page 7 way, $1 million earner way. And I want you to grasp the contrast in what is done with a new recruit. Because of, and I started out by saying, the mindset that, and I'm the normal Primerica person, doing it the Primerica way. The mindset is, listen to me now, you're going to miss this. If I only had 5 reps writing 3 life apps a month, here's how much money I'd make. That's the way they enter. If I only had 5 producing reps. And so when I get a recruit, guess what I want them to be? One of my 5. And that's where get locked in. If I could just take this one person and make them productive and get them trained so they can write apps, prospect, work referrals, 3 apps a month. I'm not asking a lot. The start of it is they don't exist. Just put that right now. But the average person says, this is what the company says. Get a recruit, get them licensed, blah, blah. And we create in that one recruit. Again, I'm the Primerica way licensed rep, and I want to recruit. I create in them. If you only had 5 reps running 3 sales a month each. So what am I teaching them? I want them to be a producer for me. And at best, I say to them, if you only had 5, look how much money you'd make. So therefore, Fabiola, so I sit down with Fabiola, I give the presentation of our opportunity, and Fabiola says, what? I'd like to give it a try. So now I've got a new associate, and the new associate, first of all, first thing you've got to do, Fabiola, is fill out an IBA, right? Got to fill out an IBA because it's critical. And I've heard people say, but he hasn't filled out his IBA yet. So the first thing I want, again, I'm doing it the Primerica way. You choose which way you want to do it. You're going to see something totally different when Austin gets up there. So Fabiola, here's how we go from here. You got to fill out the IBA, cost you $99, $25 a month, blah, 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 right? Are you ready to get this thing going, Fabiola?
I am. I'm ready to go. Tell me what to do. I'm ready.
Well, the first thing is you can't make any money until you get a license. It's very important that you get a license. Now listen to this vocabulary. Now think about this for a second. Art Williams says nobody wants to sell anything to anybody, especially life insurance. First thing you got to do is go to PFSU, Primerica Financial Services University, where we train you how to get your insurance license. Any tough words there? Insurance, life insurance license. And so we've got a 2-day school this weekend, Fabiola. Tony, how long is it? I don't even know PFSU. It's Friday, Saturday, Fabiola. What is it?
Saturday,
and
Sunday,
2 days.
Saturday. And how many hours?
18 total.
So I want you to sit in a classroom, Fabiola, for 18 hours. Can you give up 18 hours this weekend? It's going to be great, though. You're going to love it. It's going to be good. Because I want you to get in PFS University as soon as possible so you can get your license. All right, Fabiola, are you willing to do that?
If you say it's gonna help me, I'm gonna do it.
Now, if you ask that to 100 people, what percentage are going to say, yeah, I'll give up 18 hours this weekend? Then you got to pass an insurance exam. When was the last time you took an exam, Fabiola?
Oh my gosh, it's been a while. My brain's not working that well right now.
And you're going to probably have to study after you go to class for how many hours, Tony, to pass your exam?
Probably another 15.
You get the message here? Now, I'm not saying that you got to study an extra 15 hours yet. I'm not telling her that. I'm just saying you got to get PFSU. And we think we're excited for them. In her mind, is 18 hours. Woo!
Boring.
All right, if you say so, right? So let's book your PFSU now because you can't make any money. So let's get on the computer and I'll book you. There is a slot open for this Saturday and this Sunday. You're going to love it. I'll bring you lunch. I'll pick you up. I'll bring lunch. And so I'll give you a snack, okay? Kind of like kindergarten class, but make sure you don't leave.
Okay.
That makes sense, right?
I got to interject for 1 second, Mr. Orender, just because everybody's thinking the same thing. You look so uncomfortable having these conversations because it's just not you at all.
You're right. Just like I could throw a baseball, but I'm doing it left-handed now. It looked like that versus Danny Koufax or something. The next thing, Fabiola, after you get your insurance license, we want you to get your securities license. And that's another weekend cram course. And but you're going to make a lot of money doing it. So right after we get your insurance license, we want you to get your securities license. All right. You ready? And then you need to be trained, right? You expect to be trained, correct?
Correct.
And so we have Saturday training. This Saturday, we have an orientation that's 3 hours. So just before your PFSU starts, you come to our Saturday training for 3 hours, and you'll learn all about the things we do and how to do it. And we fill out this form about the new rep orientation training, right? Okay, Fabiola?
I'm already thinking this is too much. I may not be telling you, my trainer, but I'm already quitting because I'm thinking, man, I have to do all that. And it's a lot of technicality, securities. I don't even know much about securities. What is securities? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm already fearful of what you're saying. So I may not be telling you I'm quitting, but I'm telling myself, yeah, I don't think this is for me.
And by the way, that's why the company has 12% code ratio. 70% of the people who sign up for PFSU don't go. You see that what we're doing here, and then we need to have field training because you've got to be trained. Remember, I want 5 people that can write 3 life apps a month so I can sit and do nothing while they're writing apps every month, right? That's my mindset. And so, but we have to get you field trained. And so you're going to watch me present this concept and ideas, financial, and help people get debt-free and financially independent and properly protected and blah, 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 right? Whatever that mission statement is from the company. And I'm not negating that. I'm just sharing you that's the way the company tells us to do it. And you're going to learn how to give a presentation, all right? You'll watch me give the presentation so you know how to give a presentation, right? And you'll learn how to do something called the financial needs analysis. and then you learn how to handle objections and actually write the life application and get referrals. So the next step is, Fabiola, I'm available. Today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights, and I want you to call 3 to 5 of your friends. Call them up and tell them to be on this Zoom at what night would be good for you? This Wednesday night, right? Wednesday night,
fine.
good. I want you to call right after we get off this. I want you to call 3 to 5 of your friends and get them on a Zoom call, and I'll give the presentation to them. So, and you're learning how, you'll learn while I give the presentation how that all works. And now, what's the value in it for you? I'm going to help you get in the next 30 days 3 new representatives, because on the Zoom call, you're going to have 3 to 5 every week, right? For the next month, you're going to call me up and say, Bill, I've got 3 people scheduled for Wednesday night. Let's assume every Wednesday night this month. And I'll help you present, and I'll actually show you how to make sales and get 3 recruits, right? But the value to you is you're going to make $1,000 in what we call bonus. All right. Now, have I mentioned anything about market to you, Fabiola? No.
Mentioned anything about what? I'm sorry?
Right market.
No, not at all.
I just said what? Put me in front of people, right?
3 people.
3 people. And did I say what kind of 3 people we wanted to recruit?
No.
So know what she's thinking now? Well, I know 3 people, my mother, my father, and my brother. They'll join to help me out. See that? And I'm happy because, yeah, I got her the bonus. Let 15% of the people who join get a bonus. Doing it the Primerica way. Now, the next thing is after that, we need to have you go district. And what that means is you have the 3 recruits, but after you get your license, you write $3,000 in personal premium on your own. And then you get promoted to district leader. And then you can start overriding your 5 people, right? So if you had 5 people doing $3,000 a month in insurance premium each, making sales. Any turn off words there?
No.
Life, insurance, sales. Go ahead.
I'm thinking I'm selling. I'm going to be a kind of a professional, analytical person that needs to have a lot of knowledge to sell. And therefore, I need to learn all the technicality, which will take a lot of time. But since I do want to make money, I'm willing to go forward. But once people start quitting on me because I don't have the right terminology or the right system, I may start losing everybody and then get discouraged and leave.
And you're already exhausted, aren't you?
Yes, very much so.
And so I can show you how the kind of money you can make. So you're telling us how you're feeling as a rep. And I think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because I love to train and I love to teach. And now I'm waiting for you to call me about tomorrow night and confirming how many people you have on the Zoom call, correct? Now,
Correct.
what instructions have I given you to what to say to your friends?
None.
And we tend to think, well, they're friends. You can get friends on this Zoom call. Imagine the old days when you would call people and say, I'm coming to your house with a friend of mine. How does that make you feel? We get off the phone and you're supposed to call your friends and get them on a Zoom call. What's the first things you're probably going to say to them?
I wouldn't know what to say. I'll mess it up big time. I'm getting an insurance license. I have to get into a class to get trained to do financial needs analysis. And I want you to come with me because it can help you have your own insurance in place. and just come and learn. I want you to know what this is. I don't know much, but let's go ahead and learn about insurance because I'm going to this class. I don't really know what to tell them.
And another thing that I might teach you is that you have to do training, and you're asking your friends to witness some training you have to do. Would you mind helping me out and being participant in the training that I have to go through? So there's a degree of subterfuge there, right? You want them to go through training, but really you want them to be a client. And so we're going to kind of get around that. I'm not saying that's wrong. That might be your cup of tea. My experience is like you're feeling right now. So give us 3 emotions you're feeling right now, Fabiola.
This is painful. This is horrible. I because I'm not like that. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And if I had to do that, it would be so hard because I would have to be technical. I really don't have a vision of what's happening. The only vision I have is I can get three people that can create cells, which will in turn give me a little bit of the pie. But I'm not seeing the big vision of the system of the multiples. So I may be in it for a while if I am in the sales mode, but salespeople do burn out. So I may not last here a long time because if my mindset is business, I'm being turned off, honestly. And it's hard to have that conversation with you, Bill, because it's like, yeah, that's like, it's getting me anxious in a bad way.
Well, again, maybe I'm overdoing it. Maybe we're showing you a train wreck that doesn't need to be. Maybe you do it a slightly different, or Bill, I don't do that. I'm not saying, but if you're following the elements I just gave you and your mindset is, I want to have 5 reps doing 3 sales a month each, but that's how most people envision it. Now we're going to show you with Austin. Again, most people have recruited enough people to be $1 million earners by now. But how my mindset with Fabiola, it wasn't RVP factory-ish. It was 5 reps writing 3 sales a month each. If I can get them securities license and do $100,000 in rollovers every month, here's what we'd have. And I train you. So you be one of those people. Then if you quit, I'm thinking, how ungrateful. Look at what I did for her, right? So now, again, that's how most people, 95% treat somebody, some way, shape, or form to that. Now we have $1 million earner, and what do they do with a new person once they say, yes, I'd like to try this? So Austin, let me give it to you.
Well, before anything, Mr. Orender, I'm honored, and again, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Just so you guys know, this is nerve-wracking doing this in front of Mr. Orender, but it's also exciting because, again, I see Mr. Orender's message and the discomfort he went through. I can say this, unfortunately, you're not far off, Mr. Orender. There's a lot of people that do exactly what you just did, and I think you said you were maybe overdoing it. I don't think you were. I think I was. I think I'm a recovering addict of doing that for years and years and years until I realized what I wanted. So, yeah. So I'm actually go through some slides, guys. My objective with Fabiola, I want to cast vision. I want to work in her head. I want to talk to her about the multiples. That's a big part of what I know. I want her to see the multiples working because here's my objective. I think Mr. Orender talked about the company and what people do is trying to get people field trained. I am trying to field train Fabiola. It's just I'm trying to train her to build a team. If I keep her focused on building a team, that gets her to RVP. And the ultimate vision I want her to have is not being an RVP, but RVP has RVPs, have RVPs, has RVPs, right? In the ultimate multiplication process of building a hierarchy. So I'm gonna go through and share a couple of things. Now, one thing I wanna do, guys, I wanna normalize it for Fabiola, right? This is a new world for Fabiola, right? And people are so conditioned to be employees. I wanna normalize her opening her own business. And then once I normalize that, I want to give her steps to take to get her in that process. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second here. Now, I want to hit on one thing also, guys. If Fabiola comes in, and Mr. Orender said it, and I listen, again, I'm recovering. This is not pointing fingers. I'm telling you where I was for years and how to make a decision. So many people are focused on dang IBA. It's like and I don't know why, maybe it's because the trips, I'm not sure why, but the people turn the objective into IBA. So once they get an IBA, it's almost like we take a breath and go, okay, I got my recruit on the board. I got my, man, thank God I got my one recruit and 1,000. I got my 50,000 builders points this month. And I think when you do that, you lose how to run a business. Again, I'm sure several people on this call can agree with me here. When I stopped worrying about the trips and started worrying about building the business the right way, the trips were just part of the process. It's a byproduct of it. So again, if I sit with Fabiola and she doesn't have money or can't do that, that doesn't change my process. That the IBA can be done. And here's another thing. If you meet with somebody today and they say, well, I get paid on Friday. And you say, let's get back on Friday to do your IBA. Let me go ahead and let the secret out of the bag. You ain't meeting them on Friday. So my objective is if she doesn't have the income, and first off, two things. If there's no money, you need to check yourself. Are you in the right markets? But even if she doesn't have money, I want to get her going and get her people in place. So now I've got leverage for her on Friday. Does that make sense? And I also hedge my bets. If she doesn't show up on Friday, I've got people to work with that process. So guys, all it is, it's valuing your time. You know, value your time. So if I'm gonna sit with Fabiola, say, okay, Fabiola, listen, I am way excited about you working with this girl. Now listen, my objective is to open a franchise. We're opening new agencies. So I'm gonna walk you through a step-by-step guide to become what we call a franchisee or also an RVP. It's called an RVP or a franchisee, but also an RVP that has RVPs, okay? So just to again, this is my normal question, guys. I'm normalizing for Fabiola because remember, she's an employee. So I'll say, Fabiola, have you ever considered opening a business, Fabiola?
I have.
Okay, a lot of people.
Yes.
Oh, did I lose you guys?
Yeah.
You're good now.
Sorry, I think I'm back now.
You're back.
Sorry, I froze. So Fabi, you said you have considered opening a business. Well, now I want to say congratulations. You just signed a contract with McDonald's. Okay, you just signed a contract with McDonald's. Get my slides here. And and once you sign a McDonald's, they're going to send you what's called Hamburger University. It's in Chicago, and they teach you everything you need to know about running a McDonald's effectively, how to dip French fries, flip burgers. So now you know this, you know what to do. Okay, Fabiola, let's put you in that position right now. Now you come home, and Fabiola, you've got a couple options in front of you. You're the owner of this McDonald's. Option one, Fabiola, is you can then spend the rest of your days flipping burgers and dipping French fries. That's option one. How's that sound, Fabiola?
I don't want to do that forever.
Not too fired up about that, are you? Number two is you can become a manager. Now you own it, but you can take the role of managing the franchise. Okay. Number three, you're the owner, so you can own the franchise. Or the fourth option, Fabiola, is you can own that franchise and then duplicate yourself to open more franchises that have more franchises and essentially have hundreds of franchises. And now you've got royalties per franchise and complete freedom. So Fabiola, out of those four options, what do you want to pursue? Option 1 through 4.
The fourth.
All right, girl, you just got me excited, Fabiola. Now you speak about, now we can have a real conversation. All right. So
I like it.
for us to get you franchises that have franchises, here's our objective. We got a couple of steps. Step one, I'm going to build you a team. Okay. Because you're thinking about business, Fabiola. Great businesses are built because they have great people. I'm going to discuss how we're going to do that. Step two, we're going to bust your butt and get your RVP in the next 12 to 18 months. And what's an RVP? Remember, that's the franchisee. You have your own agency. From there, you're going to learn how to develop. You'll develop 7 to 10 RVPs. We'll help them develop 7 to 10 RVPs. And your last step is you're going to live the dream life and you have complete financial independence. How's that sound, Fabiola?
Sounds great.
Feel pretty good about that? Okay, let's get the process started. Here's the fastest way to build a team. Okay, now remember, why am I focused on building a team? Remember, we don't want you dipping French fries and flipping burgers, do we?
No.
So if you come to me at any point and say, Austin, I mean, this all looks good and sounds good, I want to focus more on insurance and investments. I'm going to go, no problem. Are you more committed to option 1, Fabiola, dipping French fries and burgers, or do you want to stay on our path to open franchises?
Franchise, to open up franchises.
Okay, so let's build your team. Now here's how I'm going to do it. We're going to leverage what's called the multiples. And this is a really important conversation we have, Fabiola. So my objective to help you open a business and get you to $250,000 a year as fast as we can. Now, we want you to be able to make more. But the beauty of it is once you make 250 grand a year the right way with the multiples, you can then duplicate that process and make as much as you want to make. Okay. So to make 250 grand a year, You want to become an RVP, run the brokerage, and a brokerage that does about $30,000 in volume, helps about 30 clients. Okay. And don't worry about that part yet. We'll discuss that. To do that, Fabiola, we need to staff your agency. We need to identify we got to essentially find between 90 to 100 licensed agents. Now, Fabiola, when I say you need 90 to 100 agents, what do you think most people say?
How can I get them?
Yeah. First off, why is it so many people, and how and where do I find those people? Okay. The beauty of it is, Fabiola, why is so many people? There's no quotas. I don't want you out there pushing product and selling stuff and that pressure. We're opening an agency. Okay. So we need 900 people to get that agency established. But the second reason is, or the second question, where do you find those people? Don't focus on 90 to 100, Fabiola. Okay. We're going to focus on 3. Okay. You're going to identify 3 key people. You're going to identify 3 key people.
Can you go back because we're taking pictures. Put that
yes, sir.
3. Yeah.
Austin, can you share your PowerPoint with people so that people don't have to take pictures?
Absolutely. I can send it to you after this. Tell me and then you can.
Picture. Go ahead. So go ahead. Show that the 3.
Okay.
Excellent. That's it.
So it starts with 3. Now, Fabiola, this is your responsibility.
Go back 1.
Identify 3 key.
You do this. Go back 1 and put the whole thing on there with. Never mind. Got it. I'll do it.
Yeah, the timing's built where it'll like drop it off automatically. And I need to give props to where credit's due. My regional leader, Landon Lambert, built this, and I have the conversations. They put the genius behind it. So, so we identify 3 people. Okay. Now, guess what's gonna happen, Fabio? We identify those 3 people. Guess what we're gonna do with them? I'm gonna find them 3 people. Now you'll have 9 agents in your office, Fabiola. And guess what I'm gonna do with them? I'm gonna get them 3 people. You got 27. 27 get 3, you have 81. 81 get 3, you have 243. Now, Fabiola, in about 12 months here, we'll be looking at about 360 agents if you follow our system. Okay. Now, guess what's going to happen, Fabiola? Half of those agents are going to quit. Now, let me ask you a question, Fabiola. Why do they quit? What do you think they quit?
Timing was not right. They didn't like getting 3 people themselves. They thought it was hard.
Yeah, it could be a 1,000 different reasons. Timing's right. I mean, but it's just reality. People quit. I don't know why. And I've had people say before, Fabiola, well, that seems like it's a high turnover. And I say, well, yeah, possibly, but is that primary or is that people? See, the gym, it's now March 1st, and you know as well as I do, Fabiola, the gym, the workout facility is now empty. But
Sure.
January 1st, it was packed. So it's just people.
Right.
So through that process, real recruiting equals real licensing. We'll get 50% of those people licensed. That's going to put you at 90 licensed agents. 90 licensed agents are going to do what, Fabiola? Put your position as RVP to pay you $250,000 a year.
Good.
Okay. So what's our first step in this process? You're going to find those 3 people.
3 people.
Okay. You're going to do that. And I'm going to help you drive that deep and build your business through that process. Okay. Now, let me hit on this. You're going to hear me talk about the multiples a lot. What do the multiples mean, Fabiola? It means we found a better way to build a company. Sales come from recruiting. Okay. We focus on the front end. Remember, you can go towards the sales process, dipping burgers and fries, do insurance and investments, which is good. It's a necessity. People need it. Or can keep you focused on the infrastructure of your company and identifying a great sales force, right? It also means you can expand from 85 people to 250,000 people in 12 years. It's a proven process. It's been done before. Let me ask this, Fabiola. If somebody's done it before, any reason you couldn't do it?
I could do it.
100%. Okay. Next thing is, it means recruiting never stops. Okay. We're going to identify 3 people, best friends, and best friends recruit best friends, perpetuating growth. And then helps us identify people we care about the most. Our goal: 3 who get 3, 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 who get 3. Means you have 59,000 agents, Fabiola. Now, if you had 59,000 agents, hundreds of agencies, thousands of agencies, how would you feel waking up tomorrow morning knowing that?
That's amazing. I love it.
Pretty excited, aren't you? Now, again, remember, option one, insurance and investments. Option 4, to open these agencies. Okay. So, but we want to make sure we identify the right kind of people in that process, Fabiola. 90% of our recruits should be qualified. Now, here's the deal. Qualified is not a subjective measure of capability. It means a person that fits a certain category. This is just the area we can do the most good. Okay, I learned a lot of lessons in this business, Fabiola. And one of the lessons I learned is if you stay in front of the right people, it's a very simple, easy, duplicatable business. If you're in front of the wrong people, it doesn't work. Now, again, the example I use, and just so I can make some clarity on it, because I've had people say, well, this sounds good, but I want to talk to my friend here. let me ask you a question, Fabiola. If you sold in-ground pools, okay, you sold in-ground pools, and the territory, I kept telling you, hey, there's neighborhoods over here, great neighborhoods. These people, they have massive backyards. They're putting up flyers saying, I want somebody to build a pool for me. This is like a gold mine for you, Fabiola. And over here, you have an apartment complex. In the apartment complex, they don't even know a backyard. There's no backyard. But if you say, Austin, I know, but this apartment complex is special. What's the best thing I can do for you, Fabiola? Keep you focused on the right place. Keep you focused on the goal is at. And the goal is in the right market. What's it look like? 25 to 35 is our sweet spot, 20s and 30s, married, children, employed with at least 40,000 income, and own a home. A qualified person has at least 4 of 5 of those categories. Make sense? The founder of our company, Art Williams, said, if you recruit the right market, or you will fail. So our objective is to build you a team, Fabiola, with these type of people. Okay. Now, does that mean somebody that doesn't fit this category cannot have success here? It doesn't. It doesn't. It just means we need to spend our bulk of our time in this area. Make sense, Fabiola?
It makes sense.
So our first focus, identifying 3 people in this category. Okay. Now, that's going to help you build a team, get your RVP. Okay. Once you become an RVP, you got to focus on building a team in the right market. Okay. Also know real recruiting equals real licensing. I've had situations, Fabiola, people say, why? I need to get my licenses, right? Absolutely. We need to get your licenses. What's going to be more beneficial to you, Fabiola? Going to class this weekend and getting your license knocked out next week, or going to class down the road next month with 10 people with you and you all get licensed together? What's more beneficial for you?
I need 10 people with me.
Get licensed with the team of people. Okay. We're going to get you what's called district leader. Now, let me show you the benefit of district leader. The benefit of district leader is you're now in an override position. Okay. So let's say I'm your trainer, Fabiola. And what's your focus? What are you trying to find? What are you going to get?
RVP.
Okay. You're a winner already. You're thinking the right way. RVP is our goal. You're right. So our initial step is getting 3. So you'll identify those 3 people. Now, remember, my job is working down through those people. So I'm going to go find those people. What's called depth, Fabiola. I'm going to drive that what's called 4 deep. Now, why 4 deep? That's 5 people total. You can look at research, and research says 1 out of about 5 people is going to be a key player with you. So I'm going to drive this deep so I can find a foxhole buddy for you, Fabiola. Now, guess what happens? When I do that, let's say down here, this person gets all fired up their spark plug, okay? And they come in, they go change the world, and they go help 6 families this first month. Okay, first month license, they help 6 families. They're on a 25% contract, which means they just made $1,500. Now, this is a part-time gig for them. How do you think they feel about that?
Hey, they feel great.
$1,500 part-time. Remember, I'm trying to get you RVP. So the first step is a district leader. When you become a district leader in a 50% contract, again, the beauty is not that you're in a 50% contract. The beauty is you're now in an override position. There's a 25% difference in house contract, which means, Fabiola, you just made $1,500. And let me ask this, Fabiola, did you meet any of these families?
No.
In fact, Fabiola, do you even know this person?
No.
You probably never met that person. And we're going to have a training one day, Fabiola, and I'll walk up and go, Fabiola, hey, this is John. John's a superstar. He's the guy on your team helps. And you go, hey, John, man, so glad you're part of the team. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Love it.
Sounds great. Okay. So I want to show you what it looks like, because I want to show, this is not just talk, Fabiola. This is the way we operate. My objective, Fabiola, left side of the screen is the whiteboard that is directly in front of me in my office. Okay. My job is I'm going to put Fabiola on this board. In this small little thing right here, in a few weeks, guess what I'm going to turn it into, Fabiola? This on the right side of your screen. I'm going to fill these dots in. These blue circles are empty. Why are they empty? Because my job is to make sure I'm building that for you. Okay, you identify those 3. I'll drive deep. I will build this for you, Fabiola. Sound good?
It's great.
All right. So once we get you there, and you get to district leader, your focus is in replicating yourself and develop 5 to 10 teams to do the same thing. So if I'm training you to build a team, what do you need to train your people to do? Same thing. The same thing. Build a team. So as you start developing district teams, you want to focus on building relationships, loving your people. And then we'll identify what's called a great replacement leg. This is a system that protects me and you in this process. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Sound good, Fabiola?
Sounds good.
Next thing, remember, you've got a team. Your option 4, opening franchises. Your job is not to focus on selling products. Your job is to sell the dream. Okay, you motivate your people. So as I start building that team, Fabiola, I need you behind the scenes, those people going, we're going to change the world. Listen, we're going to have franchises all over the country. We're going to do incredible things and get them excited about the opportunity. Okay, next thing, expect to win. Develop a do-it-first mentality. You're going to watch me do this for you, Fabiola, but then you need to turn around and do the exact same thing. Why? Because your people are going to watch you. And it's a do-it-first mentality. Next thing, get excited and stay excited, Fabiola. Okay, make everybody feel special. Leadership is everything. These are intangible things we'll talk about in your journey, Fabiola, help you open a successful franchise. And finally, make money and save money. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, Fabiola, but as you start to grow an agency, here's your best recruiting pitch. You ready for it? You say, I recruit people. I want you to start showing people the paychecks as you start making money. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Perfect. We have a simple recruiting system in place. There you go. Now, when you do that, when you get your RVP, then the goal is going to help you build 7 or 10 RVPs. Okay. So the question people say, where do I find 7 or 10? Well, we're going to recruit a lot of people, recruit large numbers. See, the founder of our company, Fabiola, said the guaranteed formula for always building a small company is only focus on giants and big hitters. Here's a mistake that can be made, Fabiola. The mistake can be made to go, okay, no. I'm all about quality. We're going to find quality through quantity. Okay. You never know who's going to be a superstar in this business. So our job is you introduce them the opportunity and let them make a decision for themselves. And the winner's going to pop their head up and we're going to change the world. Okay. A. Williams says it was built for average ordinary people to build a business that would give their families financial independence. Okay. So what's our goal? What's our focus, Fabiola? Recruit large numbers. Okay. Once we open a 7 or 10, we're going to help them build 7 or 10. And this is a cool thing. This is where multiplication is going to take over your life. And here's the thing, Fabiola, you can't even stop it. See, we're going to get you 7 or 10 first RVPs, first generation, or 7 or 10 RVPs, but those 7 or 10 are going to do the same thing. They'll get 7 or 10. They have 49. Then they'll get 70, 10, 343. That's 399 regional vice presidents or 399 franchises. If the average franchise does $10,000 in volume, helps 10 families a month, that puts you at $47 million a year in premium, which will pay you $149,000 a month. That is on insurance only.
Unbelievable.
I didn't talk about investments. So are you okay with that, Fabiola?
I'm amazed. I love it. Yes, I'm ready.
Now you're sure you don't want option one. You don't want to dip French fries and flip burgers, do you? You want to make sure you're sure there.
I'm sure. I don't want to do that. I want to do the building a team.
So if anybody comes to you and says, Fabiola, you're doing a great job building a team, but what are you doing to develop clients? They say, Fabiola, what are you doing to dip French fries and flip burgers? What do you need to say? I'm not dipping French fries and burgers. I'm open agencies. I'm focused on building a team of people. Okay. Now, once you do that, here's the thing, Fabiola. Step 5 is you begin to live the dream life. Art Williams says, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. So I need your help here, Fabiola, for a few minutes. I need to do me a favor. You have something in front of you, Fabiola? If you can, I want you to take a second and write this down. And guys, I'm going to go through this. For example, I'm going to go through this really quickly. I want you to write down 3 years from now, we've followed our system, Fabiola. And 3 years from now, you've got an agency that has 30 by 30 new agents and 30 clients a month, and you've promoted 3 RVPs. That's going to pay you approximately $40,000 a month. So in front of you, Fabiola, today is now March 2nd, and congratulations, we fast forward 3 years, and $40,000 just hit your account. So in front of you, Fabiola, I want you to write down on paper, what are you doing with the first $40,000? Are you going to pay off debt? Are you going to invest it? Are you going to maybe give money to your parents? I want you to to write this down, Fabiola. Okay, and she's going to write it down. Say, Fabiola, here's the thing. Okay, so 40,000. Okay, now here's the thing. You paid some debts off. It's exciting, but guess what, Fabiola? You built base shop. You got RVP spitting out, which means, like, guess what happens on April 2nd? Another 40,000 just hit your account. What are you doing now, Fabiola? What are you gonna do with it? You gonna invest it? And I'm gonna take her, I'm gonna give her time. And why do I want this to happen, guys? I want them attached to what's gonna happen if they do this the right way. I want them to see vision. I want vision casting. I'm not talking to her about selling insurance policy. Okay. I'm gonna go all the way through 3, 4, 5 months. And down here, 4 and 5, people start dreaming. They start going, oh my gosh, like I got no debt. I mean, I retired my parents, like we're taking family vacations, like I'm gonna flex that dream muscle a little bit, okay? So how's that sound, Fabio? Are you okay with that game plan?
I'm okay. Yes, I like it.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're one decision away from a changed life. Okay. So we need to do, Fabiola, is get in front of those 3 people as fast as we can. So how quickly can we get in front of those 3 people? Can we do that now?
Yeah, I can call some people right now.
Let's do it, girl. So, and that's the process, Mr. Render. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I hope that's what you're looking for, Mr. Render.
I'm in.
Only thing I would add to it, at the end, who are the 3 people we can call now? And you get the names, because she might say, I'll call them, and then she's gone.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Yeah, so I actually have them write the names down right there, and I'll have them contact them with me on the phone or on the Zoom.
Or text them,
Yeah.
or some method for connecting with those people immediately. Now, the point I want to make is Austin's presentation will turn people off.
It will.
And my presentation will turn people off. The question is, it's like mutual funds will turn people off. CDs turn me off. So we tend to think if it turns people off, it's no good. And Austin, Fabiola, talk about this for a second. When you first started doing it Austin's way, it's uncomfortable. And because it's just not right, and it feels, and you might not do it right, but after about 3 or 4 times, you really start getting into it, right? So talk about that, Fabiola, and
Yes.
what this meant going through this process with me and Austin today. How'd that help you?
Wow, it's been amazing. So first, when I started doing that, showing the circles and the language that Austin used, I had that kind of language that you just used, the multiples, team building, leverage, agency, franchise, staffing, infrastructure. When I started using that kind of language, it started to convert me. Okay, so I had to get converted because I wasn't. I was in the sales, or the left quadrant. Even though we say we're in business and we're a regional vice president, we can still be on the left side, guys, being self-employed, selling. And if you don't sell, you don't make any money. So I had to convert myself. So when I started using the appropriate language and drawing the circles, yes, we turn people off with the circles, but we attract the right people in our team with the circles and the right language. So when I started using the language, it converted me. So when I was converted, I was able to freely speak in casting a vision. It took me a long time, honestly, Bill, because I was set on, let's see what the wholesalers have to say. Let's see what this speaker has to say. Let's see what that meeting has to say. And I wasn't really focused on, okay, the multiples. And I'm being honest with you. And that's why it's taken us a while. In my light bulb turned on later. But because I realized that what I was doing before, having, the language of go get licensed, let's do 3 and let's do, I feel like now I realize that I was babysitting people. Just like you said, go, take them their lunch, call them, and you can do this. And just the babysitting job that I no longer do, because it takes me nowhere. It takes me nowhere. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. It's draining. And it doesn't pay you money. I mean, you're just babysitting people. Yes, you want to love on people, but you can't do what people don't want to do for themselves. And somehow we're thinking, oh, if I just tell them one more time, if I just, get them to school and get them licensed, if I just do whatever, they give them that one check they want, that bonus check. Look, if they're not the qualified people with the right mindset, I'm gonna struggle and be stuck. So I realized, look, from the get-go, if this person is qualified and motivated with business and they see my vision that we're building agencies, that's the people I want to attract. So again, the language, you have to be converted first, because it could be difficult for some people. If you started like me, I love helping people. Let me help you with your insurance. I can do your financial needs analysis. I can talk to you about refinancing. I can talk to you about this. It took me nowhere, guys. So again, you have to change and innovate.
Thank you very much. I love the conversion process, which brings us to the question, Austin. How long did it take you to make the conversion? And what were the issues of why it took you so long?
Yeah, so regretfully, it took me I've been in business 10 years. It took me 5 years. 5 years. And the same thing, I came in, and what happens, I believe, is people get stuck in a scarcity mindset. They get stuck in a, I gotta pay the bills, and we jump back and forth, go make money. I think I'm supposed to be building people, but here's the problem. Most people are building in non-qualified markets. Because we're just trying to get IBAs processed. I'm trying to get on the board. So go recruit non-qualified people, which doesn't lead you to income. So you've always got to try to go find resources from other place. The change for me happened, and again, I sat in your office for years, Mr. Render, and you saying the same thing. And I'm going, every time you'd say it, I go, God, please let me get it this time. When I made a decision to, again, study Art Williams, read through locker room notes. I mean, when I saw how how it was done in the old school A. Williams principles, I just sold out to it, and it changed because this is my belief. I don't think you can be 99% in. I don't think you can be 98% in. I think you got to be all in 100%. And when that happens, it'll start working. But most people, what you said earlier, we're very confident until it's a tough situation. The first time you sit with somebody, and I've told this story before, the first day I decided to talk about the multiples in front of a person, I had a defining moment. My very first one was with a lawyer making $250,000 a year. And I know myself. Before that moment, I'd again, he's going to judge me. Like, this is not going to feel comfortable. And I remember going, he does not have what I want. So why do I care what he feels about what I believe? I know what Mr. Render says. I know what Art Williams says. These guys I want to be like say this. So who cares? It's an irrelevant opinion from this gentleman if he talks down on what I'm going to show. And I went through the multiples, and at the end, without showing a presentation, I went through three, who get three. Without showing a presentation, he did his IBA on the spot. He goes, I'm in. I remember going, it's not them, it's me. The issue is not them, it's me. And so I had to change myself and go, I'm gonna stick to what I believe and show everybody. And again, understanding it's going to turn some people off. Those right people will be turned on. You change life with the right people.
Thank you. Fabiola, how long did your conversion take?
Oh my gosh.
And how hard was it? We all went back and forth, all of us would go back and forth, right?
Yeah, well, guys, I've been here 20 years already. It took me longer than that. So I feel like I'm a new person in Primerica. I mean, just through this pandemic, I feel like I just joined Primerica. I'm a different person because now I understand. So sometimes we hear the information. Look, I've heard Bill Orender for a long time, but we hear and we hear and we hear. But are we really listening? Are we really listening? And you know, there's so many words and phrases that I have from you, Bill, that I'm like, oh my gosh, where was I? What was I thinking? You know, like we get a new recruit. What are we going to do with them? What are you going to do with the recruit? Well, that's that. You know, I went through that. I know how to recruit. I knew how to recruit. I was recruiting the wrong people, and I didn't know what to do with them because my mindset, my building mindset, was not all in. It was like, okay, yeah, I know I need to build. Yeah, we need to multiply and duplicate. Yeah, I know that, but I was not all in. So you have to let go of a lot of distractions, like, oh, I need to go make some money tomorrow because I need to pay my bills. Or, you know, I need to find me a recruit, a stud with the right mindset. I mean, that's a perfect example of what you said, Austin, of an attorney. You know, he's already, if he was already business minded on the spot, he'll join. But sometimes we're thinking, oh, I have to go to their level. Their level is their employee level, their little extra income level, their I just want to know more level. And then we just kind of give in. We kind of give in to their vision. So yeah, we can recruit anybody. I mean, we can recruit anybody that's not a qualified market, and we just give in. We give in. Oh, okay, I got an IBA. I got a recruit, but that recruit never goes anywhere, and you're always chasing them and, you know, doing what you're not supposed to do with them. You're just wasting time. So, you know, you can learn from experience, or you can learn from somebody else's experience and mistakes. You might as well do, you know that you're going to change your mindset, you're going to change your mentality, you're going to have a big vision, and you're going to cast it. You have to be converted, and then you share it, because if not, you're just going to be wasting time.
Thank you, Fabiola. Austin, talk about how I remember my daughter saying, I'm not good at tennis. I tried it once. If people might try this once and they fumble, they stammer, they don't feel comfortable, they feel not confident. Talk about how many times you have to give a presentation like this to really start being confident and convicted. See, 100% income off of one, I'm convicted, doesn't work. Unless they're doing something like that, I don't care what their profession is, they'll never have peace of mind, unlimited income, time, or security. So talk about that, Austin, and how long does the conviction, until the conviction comes? How many times, how many presentations?
Man, maybe I'm wrong. It didn't take long. Just a few examples. And I think I was always putting guys like you, Mr. Render, in front of me going, I know it's the right way. It's proven. But again, we look at one or two bad experiences, but I was blown away when I started talking with people about the multiples, how it's just received really well. I don't very rarely have, oh my gosh, the 3 who get 3, this is one of those pyramid things. People ask questions. I go, wait, so this is like is this like one of those MLM things? They don't even know what they're asking most time. Yeah. And so, but I think the problem is deeper, Mr. Ryan. I think it's more of a self-image issue.
Here we go.
People have self-belief, self-image. And because that, I even think, and I've watched this, Mr. Render, and you know this as well I do. I watch people self-sabotage. They'll start getting some momentum going with multiples and conversation. And it's almost like part of the self-sabotage is backing away from that message. It's just about to pop. Well, we have these deep self-beliefs going, am I worthy of this? Can I do this? Do I deserve to have this success? And because that, we change those conversations that got us going and we back off. And so I think it's just a matter of staying the course. And again, if you believe it, and I mean, I say this all the time, like, I'm a Christian. It doesn't matter who I'm with, I'm going to be a Christian. Now, I can approach that aggressive and say, well, if you're not a Christian, you're messed up. And well, that's going to shut people off from me. But if I go, listen, I realize you're not a believer. This is why I believe. This is my testimony. This is how it's changed my life. And I'd love to hear your story and love to share my story with you. Well, those conversations do the same thing with the multiples. Hey, I get it. I understand. I don't believe in this. This is why it's changed my life. I started it for me. I started it in the people in my organization. Our business started to thrive. Now, let me address one thing. I made the conversion 5 years ago, understanding the multiples, but it was not a qualified market. Our recruiting went up, but because we were not doing it through qualified market, I still struggled because I'm going, is this going to work? Like I'm not making money. As soon as we attached those two things, man, the multiples and qualified market, it just worked. And so, but I don't know if it's, maybe I'm hard-headed or stubborn, Mr. Render. It wasn't long. I mean, I feel like it was a few weeks of just staying, listen, I'm not changing. I'm tired of the people I'm listening to don't have what I want. So why am I listening to them? If the guys that have what I want, you and Mr. Tuttle and Josh, and these guys that I want to be like, and if you're saying do it, who cares whether 97% says don't?
You know, I found this too about Primerica, but also my faith. I don't argue with people about, well, yeah, but you know, I can't believe you folks believe this. I can't believe you folks do that. Okay, thank you. Bye. I stopped trying to argue with them. I just don't want to convert people on the spot. And I got what I got. We are what we are. And so, Tony, if you'd show that picture of that ring, please. This is Assad Faraj. He's a downline of mine who just $1 million earner who also got Circle of Champions. And by the way, this is the design my son Patrick created, that the company copied, and he got no credit from it. It's what happens when you have a relative in the home office. But he even coined the phrase, you're a circle of champion because you're a champion at drawing circles. And you can't back off from that. And so we're going to recognize, he's got two, Ian Pruckner got his, and it is $1 million earners is a contest. How much money you make. This is, you built a incredible business of layers of RVPs upon layers of RVPs. So this is an RVP factory ring versus $1 million earner ring. Let's go back to the gallery. Also, don't forget on the 12th of this month, week from Friday at 9 o'clock Dallas time, we got Bill and Omar, and our guest speaker on Money Quest is Hector Lamarck. You do what Austin and Fabio, because you want to make money. You want to have grand success. And again, that's 9 a.m. Central. That's 10 o'clock Eastern time, 1 hour. And so we'll be doing that. And then we're having another one, I think, with Bobby Buisson in April. Okay, give us back to the last one. And Shanika, can you get on for a second? Shanika, NSD.
I'm right here.
Congratulations. Shanika, final word, what did you get out of today? And how did they cut? I was so uncomfortable with my presentation. I said, I don't want to do that to Fabiola, but I can just see her wearing down 18 hours. Last word, Shanika, what did you get out of today and what hit you the most?
I mean, we got to share the bigger picture and what people really want. And it's a business, and it's once you show the multiples and how business truly works, that's what people want. And we can't be afraid to do that. We can't be afraid to think that, oh, they think we're like one of them. No, this is a business. And so show them the bigger picture, and that's what they want. You'll speak to the right people. But if you try to sugarcoat it and go to class and do all this other stuff, then you're not going to build what you want ultimately. And so
Well,
that's awesome, Austin.
Well, think about that. You make more money than a top guy in a profession that you committed your life to and had to get 3 degrees to do it or whatever it was. And I don't know, too many teachers. Right now, there's so many teachers that are unhappy. We got to be recruiting teachers left and right. This COVID thing is just killing them. And so we're all set for next week on a Century Club. Remember this, you got to be bad before you're good, and you got to be good before you're excellent. You're going to be bad at this. And I'm going to ask Austin not to send out his presentation for fear of legal. It's not approved. This is not designed for a first time presentation. This is designed after you, maybe a 5 or 10 minute orientation about what we are. Let's get together. All right.
Hey, can I come in, Mr. Orender?
Sure.
Just it's funny you say that, and I do enjoy. I want to help people as much as I can, but I encourage you, go learn the presentation through reading read A.L. Williams Away, read locker room notes, like dive into this stuff.
Sometimes page 7 especially.
Yeah. Don't always go for the quick fix. Consume yourself in this stuff, and then go build some presentations yourself. That's how you learn it. Like, man, stick your head in these books, and I promise you it's going to be a huge benefit to your business. So thank you, Mr. Orender. I appreciate the opportunity today.
It'll come out of you once you start diving into you'll speak like him.
Well, Fabiola, thank you very much. Austin, I think it went exactly the way I hoped it would. And thank you for your comments, Shanika. And thank you, Tony, again, for all the help you've made. And we'll be talking to you during the week. All right. Bye-bye.